Hey, how's all my friends out there? On my last video, I didn't speak about this because the CME information was more important, what I wanted to speak to you about. This picture, if you remember the last video, when I mentioned Elenin, I had this up there as a picture of the comet. Not a verified picture, as you can see, it's set up here, not vetted by CNN. And then you can see right down here it says iReport. Okay, now I wasn't telling you about the iReport at the time. I just put the picture up as a representation of the comet while we were talking. But other people know this, and I wanted to say this in a different video, which I'll go ahead and do for you now. But someone else made a video and talked about this article right here on CNN iReport. Come over here and check it out, and then go into NASA Buzz Room, of which I haven't even bothered to try it today because it has not been allowing you to get in. And as far as I know, if I could get in, if I could find out for sure about who thinks it's going to get between 40 and 50,000 miles away from the planet, and how they came up with the figures, etc. But without being able to get in, you cannot see. So anyway, the point of this is CNN in this iReport, which some of it seems to me to be fairly accurate, but some of it seems to be fairly inaccurate also. So I want to go through it with you and show you. Right off the bat, the November 9th, 2011, the Earth will supposedly come or cross the threshold of the debris tail of Elenin on the same plane, assuming Elenin is a real object that would be catastrophic. This is a cool interactive NASA chart displaying the comet's trajectory through the solar system, and I'm getting ready to get on there and show you. Okay, they said November 9th, and this is coming off CNN, the big boy, and their iReport, threshold of the debris tail of Elenin, November 9th. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and we'll just go in the order that they went ahead and told you about it. Okay, we're on 11 November, we're on 9, so here we are, and here's Elenin. So we're going to supposedly, according to CNN, on November 9, cross the tail, get into it on that day. Well, let's go backwards. Now, what are they thinking from this point on? And I want to show you right here too, this is changed. The Earth distance has been changed. I believe, if I go back through my earlier videos, I believe that was 0.232. And since it won't show it on here, I don't believe on past what it was. I will go into my videos later on and verify that. If I'm incorrect, I'll speak about it in a future video. But I think it was 0.232. So they have now projected it to be a little bit farther away. Anyhow, if it's here already in October, and there we are, 0.234, then aren't we already going through the tail now? Only like a week or 2 weeks afterwards of the 17th. What are they talking about? I mean, if anything, you're more of in a direct line of it on the 1st of November. You know, what are they waiting for to give you that date for? That date is getting close to 11/11. You know, and we saw early on an alignment here, possibly. It does look pretty close to having one on 11/11. That's why we have 11/11 as a date marked upon it. Okay, let's go back and see what other stuff CNN said. And when you go through here, it says a lot of stuff that we already know about the supposed encoding into the name of Elenin. And then it's got some links here about the NASA, are they prepared, in the video they made. Underground base stuff at Denver International Airport. It has some things in here that we already know that appear to be okay to be believing. And it's got some stuff about how big it's supposed to be. You just keep going down, and then it talks about Misinformation and his research into large earthquakes and how the alignments play into it, and then Elenin combined with it in the alignment, and then the charts here. So that this stuff here seems to be fairly in tune. But see, then you've got that alignment. They're calling for an alignment on September the 6th, and it looks like they say Elenin, Mercury, Mars, Earth. So let's go back and we'll go to September the 6th. Okay. They said Elenin, Mercury, Mars, Earth. Elenin, Mercury, Mars, Earth. What? Let's go back there and did I misread? Future alignments. Elenin, Mercury, Mars, Earth. September 6th. Elenin, Mercury, Mars, Earth. What are they talking about? So, the only thing I can comprehend out of that is that they think Mars and Mercury and Elenin all lining up is going to cause something over here to happen. I don't see us in that alignment, do you? I mean, let's take it back. So I'll show you. That is Earth, see? Earth. So what's the alignment? There is nothing. So let's go back and see what they got for us now. Well, that appears to be a strikeout on that one. And then they have September 25th, Mercury, the Sun, and Elenin. Okay. See if this checks out. What'd they say? Mercury, Sun, Elenin. Mercury, Sun, Elenin. Well, that's pretty close. I think we had the 26th of Sun, Elenin, and Earth, you know, on our timelines. Actually, probably about the 23rd. Get ready for something, but it doesn't look like Mercury's. Let me turn around here a minute. And they said the 25th, we're on the 25th. It's pretty close. Mercury may get into it, and they probably will, but I don't think their day is a little bit early, but they're fairly close on that one. And then you have your AUs and all these other different dates here. And yes, it was 0.232 because they say it right here. They've got that. So you see some of the things they've got in here are right, or appear to be right, and then we've looked at things here that does not appear to be right. The next alignment occurs on September 6th. Watch the news on this date for a large earthquake. Use this as a barometer. If a massive quake occurs, then you know this information has substance. Many skeptics are out there. You have to look at all the information before making a snap decision. Okay, so CNN iReport just said the next alignment occurs on September the 6th. Watch the news for a large earthquake and use it as a barometer. If a biggie happens, then you know this information has substance. What do they allude to? If a biggie doesn't happen, then the information is thrown out the window? Is that what CNN is programming? I don't know. It appears to me they're doing something I don't like. And these are just some articles about the comet from different sources, and you just keep going down and you can find other things here. We're at the end of the article here, but this bottom end of it, so the signs are there. The government has prepared underground bases and continuity of government procedures in place. Notable among them are EX-84, the readiness exercise of 1984, activated due to a catastrophic event that is yet to take place. A Pentagon announced plan that directly correlates with the 2009 Army-funded RAND Corporation study that called for an internal United States police force to combat civil unrest. The plan basically calls for the deployment of a 20,000-strong international troop force inside the continental United States, CONUS. That was set to be trained by 2011, thus dovetailing into the current troop and equipment movements around the country reported by truckers, as well as many more troop sightings by everyday citizens. Okay. And then you have some people that commented down there below the report. So, like I'm saying, if you go through this whole thing, well, it appears they have mixed in some disinformation with some decent information. So I don't know how many of you have came here and looked at it or not, but I don't think this is really an article that you can put a whole lot of faith in. You can find a whole lot better information and a whole lot better sources than coming to CNN iReport and looking at anything of what they've said. You know, you can find the things that are true in past things I've said. Other people have the same reports of the earthquakes by the research published, and you don't have to listen to or read garbage that's being mixed into some of the things that are real. And that's what I think this CNN iReport is. I think it's overall garbage, trash. No, back to this. Like I wanted to show everyone and make sure that everyone knew that this had changed on our October 17th date at its closest point. They have moved it, and it is supposed to be a little bit farther away from 0.232 AU, now 0.234 Now, whether this will be true or not, we will have to find out on our own. Now, before I close out here, oh, you know how you hear things. Well, they're a pretty stiff question, and I haven't put a lot of thought into it. But if the stereo B is going to be swiveling every couple of hours or something and trying to catch pictures of Elenin, and if Elenin is a brown dwarf, and a lot of us think it's possible that it could be, why, if it was going to be so close to the stereo B, closer to it than the planet when it comes right here on this day, if that is closer than this to us, and it's going to do all these things to the planet to us, why was that stereo B not damaged? And I do not have a good answer for that. The only answer I can come up with, just in the short few minutes since I've been making this video and thinking shortly before, is that perhaps they have the capability to protect whatever they want and to leave unprotected whatever they want. Perhaps that's the reason the toy didn't get broken, because they don't want it broken and they have a way to keep it from getting broken. We shall see. And I've only had time to think about that for a few minutes, but I mean, if we got scalar weaponry and everything that they haven't told us about, and they're hundreds of years beyond what we see with our eyes and live in every day, then I wouldn't rule out they have a way to protect anything they put up there if they want it protected. It's possible, maybe. I'll think about that. I'll see if I can come up with a better answer. Has anyone out there got a better answer? I think the young man's pretty intent on pressing that issue. Another thing is when Torello 3 left with the group that went to relocate, all I have to say is they do what they think is best when they think they need to start doing it. I don't believe that it's any type of a cult environment, or that I don't know him personally, but I believe he's square-headed enough that he would not develop a surrounding of that environment like that, or to try and be like that. I think these people are just trying to do what they think they need to do. And if that's what a person wants to do, then you can't be against it. As far as being public and putting out where they were going and etc., maybe that wasn't the smartest thing in the world to do, but maybe by doing it you could reach more people. The coin seems to flip both ways, and you know, the edges aren't always sharp. There's ways of rounding off the edges. It's hot right now, you know. Where I'm situated at, I don't see a reason as of yet to make my move. But I don't know about the Ozarks myself. They wouldn't be my first choice because they're a little bit farther away from me, and I'd have to leave. You know, I would have to leave early too, just like these people did. Maybe not quite as early, but I don't want to downgrade anyone for what they've done. I believe his heart's in the right place. Uh, I believe things will work out for the best after it's all shook out and said and done. Uh, Maybe there are safer places, and maybe there are ways of communicating to people, of meeting up or traveling or whatever. And that's something to be heavily considered and a good idea. Uh, but, you know, there's tons of other people that have put out videos about where are the safest places and etc. So that's already been blabbed out. So, I mean, they would know where all the safest places are anyway. They're not stupid. So they know where to cover, they know where to go. We just have to see how it all pans out as the situation plays itself all the way to the finale. And I listened to the video, and you had some good questions, and I didn't hear anybody before that, but you were listening and stuff where you participated. But I think you had something like 3 minutes and 45 seconds worth of time on there, and you got some good questions out, and he seemed to give you some good, complete, lengthy answers. So on that issue, I was a little confused as to why you would think you would be able to know from all the way across from there where he's at to where you're at that was you, without seeing you and identifying you. And you know, I just don't understand that part of it. But I don't want to ride on anyone, because everyone is doing what they think needs to be done for themselves. And I'm positive as I sit here, anyone that's went with that group can leave anytime they want. I'm positive that there's no way that they would be there by any other means. So what do you think? What do you think of this CNN report? And how about some mail or comments or something sent to me on that man's question? Now, he said anyone out there, and all of us are anyone out there. So if there's any of you that's got any thoughts on if this thing was flying closer to the stereo B than it will be to the planet, and it would do all the things that we think it's going to do to the planet, why was the feed of the stereo B not interrupted, or the unit itself damaged or destroyed? That is the question, and I pose it for some help so that we can get an answer and try and understand what made that invulnerable to damage if what we're hearing is true. So we'll just have to see. Maybe if we can get some more information on that, we can understand the answer to the question, if we ever find out what the real answer is. And in the end, we'll know what the answers were. It just got to play out. So I wanted to get that out there and let you know most of this article, well, yeah, it's pretty well garbage. You've already heard me call it that. So see what you think, and let me know what you think about that question about it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And good night to everybody. I pray for you all. Everybody try to be safe, beat the heat. May God bless you, and I'll talk to you next time. Keep looking up.